It seems like there's already a big brother, little brother relationship with you and Kyle Hamilton. Can you talk about it? That back and forth.
I like Kyle. Yeah, I think it's always interesting who we draft because when I first got out of the league, I pretty much knew all the college guys, and then now I just watch the draft like everybody else and don't know who we're really going to get. But I like Kyle, man. He's all right. But I will say I had him on Studio 44 recently. He'll be coming soon. But I asked him, I was like, I hear all this great stuff about you. You fit in the box. You play everywhere. But when I saw you, you were kind of thin. And I'm like, you're a little slim. And then we got on the field and he started doing some stuff. I was like, I think I like him a lot. So he's really shown me some things he can do. I'm excited to put the pads on and actually see what he really can do. You know, everybody can look good in shorts and t-shirts. So I'm excited for him and all the other guys that I think are going to be really big help to us this year, those rookies and some of those new signings when we all put it all together. And so as we do these mini camp days, it's just getting closer and closer to training camp and time to really see what, team will be, what our, mindset will be, what type of team, what standard will we play with. So I'm really getting excited for all that.
You juiced up with having Lamar out there as you're all right. Now you're going against the MVP again. Just even in a mini camp, does that raise it?
Oh yeah, it does. I was really excited to have 8 back out there. I told the trainer to give Lamar some water today. He needed it, I think. So I've been messing with him a little bit, but I think having 8 back is great. We got some great work in OTAs without him and everything. So having him back, everything's elevated. The Lamar Mark connection is looking good. The Bateman connection. So I'm really excited to. I've seen a lot of the work our wide receivers have put in OTAs. So I'm really excited for us to get all training back as a team, along with Lamar, just Calais and all the guys. Just it was cool to have Kyle here. So I'm really excited about just these next 2 days of practice and having everybody back together. I think OTAs is cool, but to have everybody here for mini camp and meetings and even just being in the building all day, it's cool just to get the fellowship with the guys. So I've missed that. I'm excited for these 3 days and then some time off and then camp, of course.
Marlon, have you set any expectations or any goals for yourself for the upcoming season?
Man, I was actually thinking about that on the field today. It's been some lists, some top corner lists I've kind of not liked. So I was thinking about that today. But I think, when you have not the best year and get hurt and everything, football still goes on. So I think every year, that's one thing I love about football. It's like, Lamar wins MVP one year and then gets hurt, and then you see somebody post a top 10 quarterback list, he's not even on there. Every year it's a new year, I think, and that's just what I love about football. There's really no time to ever really think, you're that guy. You can be the best in the league and then have a bad year and then people forget about you. It's unlike the NBA. LeBron can have an off year, he'll still be the best player in the world. And I think football is one of the few sports where it's so highly criticized every year that somebody's top 5 list can change completely. And so I love that because it makes you know you got to go out and work every year.
Was there one name that really bothered you?
Nobody specifically. Nobody specifically, but you just gotta go out and prove it.
Hey,
How do you think Lamar handles the talk, whether he's not here the last 3 weeks and now he's here?
I think he handles it well. I think really what's most important is the communication within the guys and the coaching. So I think nobody in the locker room was. It kind of sucks sometimes being on social media and seeing headline after headline, but when what's going on, but there's you can't really respond to everybody, but there's no point. But I think as long as the team knows where he's at, the players know where he's at, we're communicating with him, I think it kind of speaks for itself. But I was thinking about what it would be like to be Lamar. I was like, it's probably not that fun to be kind of famous. I'm like, some people see me, they're like, I don't really want a picture. But Lamar, everyone's like, I got to get a picture. So it's like, it's a different life when everything you do is kind of looked at in a positive or negative light. Whether it's Shannon Sharp or Skip or this guy talking, Stephen A. So I know that would get annoying if I was in those shoes. But I think he handles it really well, being how much media attention he gets.
You said you want to have him on the show. What's the first thing you want to ask him?
The $1 million question, I think everybody wants to ask him. But I'll have to save it for TV. But it might be hard to get him on there. Him along with Marcus Peters. I think Marcus might be really tough. He was a little mean to me when I asked him yesterday. So it's still some guys I'm struggling to get. I'm going to have to keep on chopping at the block. But I got Mark Andrews, so maybe Mark Andrews can help me get Lamar, and then we can have a good episode there.
You have to have the bleep button ready for Marcus.
Yeah, Marcus, he might cuss me out on the show, so I'll definitely have to be prepared. It might be a short one, so if I do get him, I'll be, whether it's 5 minutes or 20, I'll be very happy.
Hey, Marlon, along some of the things you've touched on there, you worked your rookie contract and got that next contract. For any other player, be it Lamar or anybody else in this position, what is that like, that process of getting that next contract, and do you give advice to those guys who are in that spot now?
I guess I haven't given, crazy amount of advice. I will say one thing that actually made me have a different insight on kind of coaching was I coached my old high school, and what that did was it made me realize things that I could be doing that bothered coach or like personnel. So like there's always that one track kid that's not really doing anything, but they're doing something small that might bother you. So when I did that first year, I try not to hold grudges when I'm coaching the kids. But when I came back, I was like, maybe this could be a bothersome. So I started doing little bitty things of whether it's you're supposed to wear this little T-shirt with the little pad here and here. And I was like, I usually don't wear it, but I just started doing those little things, and I think it kind of paid dividends for me. I think it's a Ray Lewis quote. It's like he's not great at anything special. He just does. He's really good at a lot of little things, which then makes him great. And so I kind of try to take those little bitty things off the field, on the field, try to go to a nutritionist, try to do this. And I just really tried to handle business the way I think that a pro would handle it. And I think that kind of helped just not only on the field but off the field as well, and it kind of just all went together.
Marlon, as you went through last year, which obviously it was a struggle defensively, collectively, did you, in the numbers as far as, 2 years ago before that was eight forced fumbles, you all pro, the turnovers weren't there. Did you feel the weight because of all the injuries on your shoulders to try and do too much? Did you feel that last year?
No, I think we were definitely fighting a lot last year. Even the games it seemed like we won, we were really always on our heels, it seemed like. But I didn't feel anything substantial. I think the injuries eventually did catch up to us. But I think, I was, even to the last game, I felt, I wasn't out there, but I felt the guys were still fighting to win that game, whether we made it into the playoffs or not. So, but to answer the question, no, I didn't feel anything significant.
All right, thanks, Marlon. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you, guys.